Happy Thursday, day 8 of 40. Our text is Matthew chapter 8, verses 23 through 34. Let me read. Then Jesus got into the boat and his disciples followed him. Suddenly a furious storm came up on the lake so that the waves swept over the boat, but Jesus was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us, we're going to drown." He replied, "You have little faith. Why are you so afraid?" Then he got up and rebuked the wind and the waves, and it was completely calm. The men were amazed and asked, "What kind of man is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." When he arrived at the other side of the region of the Gadarenes, two demon-possessed men coming from the tombs met him. They were so violent that no one could pass that way. "What do you want with us, Son of God?" they shouted. "Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time?" Some distance from them, a large herd of pigs was feeding. The demons begged Jesus, "If you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs." He said to them, "Go." So they came out and went into the pigs, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and died in the water. Those tending the pigs ran off, went into the town, and reported all of this, including what had happened to the demon-possessed men. Then the whole town went out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they pleaded with him to leave their region. The image today is a painting, a 17th century painting by Rembrandt. He's a great Dutch painter. Brad Coleman has led two Visio Divina devotions using this painting. So Brad is, of course, a professional artist, was a professor of art before he joined our staff. He's now the campus pastor at the Highland Park campus, but he's had us look at this painting, read the passage, and then just sort of get a better understanding of perhaps what was going on in the hearts and minds of the disciples. You can see that they're very frantic. Jesus is very calm. Dallas Willard famously says, what's the best word that describes Jesus? Relaxed. Yes, so that's a profound thing to think about. By the way, if you know where this painting is, do tell, because it was stolen in 1990, and last I heard they had not yet found it. So anyway, I've been to the Sea of Galilee. It's not a sea, it's a lake, as it says in the text. But it's a large lake, and it's down in a valley, and apparently the winds can make it quite violent. So you can imagine that the disciples all knew of women that were widows and children that were fatherless, that were struggling to survive because their husbands or fathers had died in this sea. And so this sudden storm comes up, and they are all quite frightened. So then, if you read the passage, there's much to ponder here. So Jesus is woken up, and he calms the storm in the sea. Not in Matthew. Matthew says they're amazed. Luke's account says after Jesus calmed the wind, the disciples are terrified of Jesus. Forget the storm. We're not worried about that. We understand that. Who just calmed this? What kind of power does he have? And if you read through the Gospels, this is particularly, I think, obvious in Luke's Gospel, but in Matthew's Gospel as well, you see what we have with the miracles. The miracles are not fixing a problem as much as they are sort of systemically demonstrating Jesus' power over different things. Here it's over nature. At another time it'll be over sickness. And it's over death. It's over evil. It's over whatever. It's demonstrating that Jesus is bigger than the situation. One other thing to note in this passage that is worth noting, and by the way, what happens next, of course, is the whole account about the demons and going into the pigs, which again is Jesus' power over Satan, his power over evil. But one of the things to note here is that the disciples are in the boat, which is where Jesus told them to go, when they get terrified. And so it's not like if things are going bad, it's not like if you're scared, it's not like if things are hard, that you've made a wrong turn necessarily. They are doing exactly what Jesus has told them to do, and they're suddenly overwhelmed with fear. So I think this is a powerful passage about Jesus and who he is, and it just continues to unfold. So let me encourage you for your challenge today, for your step today, is to think, is to meditate, maybe to talk with somebody, a friend, a spouse, whatever, about what it is that you fear. Like, where is fear in any sense a motivator to your behavior? What do you fear and why do you fear it? And how might you reflect differently on fear in light of this passage in Matthew chapter 8? Have a good day.